I would continue the zero tolerance policy, which is if you come into our country illegally, you're committing a crime, and we're going to prosecute you and send you back. And if the people coming in have children, do not separate those children. Put the children into the detention facility with their parents. But I think it'll be a matter of time before somebody files suit, but we can cross that bridge when we come to it. But I do think this issue's been politicized. I don't mean to denigrate my Democratic friends, but I think it's been very politicized. Well, I'm hoping it's sending the message to people who want to come into our country illegally that they will be prosecuted. We welcome about 1 million legal immigrants every year who follow the rules. They follow the law. They come. They get in line. They wait their turn. We have another 500,000 people who don't follow the rules, and they try to sneak in. And you have to enforce your laws. The problem that we're seeing today is the result of a 15-year bipartisan refusal to enforce our immigration laws.
That is just total fiction and falsehood. The idea that there's a law that requires this cruel and inhumane policy is absolute fiction and falsehood.
I think it's outrageous. I think it's absolutely outrageous. It's immoral. It's unconscionable, and it needs to come to a stop.
Is this up to the Trump administration to fix? Or
of course it is, and it's a problem they created.
I do recognize that we need to control our border and that we need to enforce our laws. But previous administrations, both Republican and Democrat, have chosen to enforce that law using civil citations rather than criminal incarceration of parents when it would result in the separation of families. Despite the president's repeated pronouncements that somehow this is the Democrats' fault, which is not true, or that he doesn't support or like the policy of separating families, it is a policy choice by the Attorney General, by the Secretary of Homeland Security, and by President Trump.
I'm very aware of the challenges that immigrants face, and these continuing attacks by the president, you know what, they amount to cruelty, and frankly, you know, I would love for this nation to have a fresh start. I had earlier called for the president to resign. I would welcome the resignation of all those in this administration who have lied for the president in terms of whether or not there is actually a policy to separate children from their parents at the border. We all know that is happening. She lied. She lied, saying that this is not their policy. That's what they're doing. And for the president to blame the Democrats, you know, it just continues his cowardice and his bullying.
We've had an opportunity to do things previously, and unfortunately my Senate Democrat colleagues have voted against each and every effort to try to stop this by providing another way for these adults and children to get their asylum cases heard. My hope that is this publicity and the concern will prompt us to some action, because I don't know anybody on a Democratic or Republican side that thinks doing nothing is the right thing to do.
The president has the ability to stop this if he'd like. I understand that he wants to get a comprehensive fix of immigration, so do I. But there's 3 situations, and I'm not sure I understand where the administration is coming from. I'm confused. Asylum seekers are not criminals. So is it the practice to separate families for seeking asylum? If that's the practice, that's wrong. Bringing minors here illegally is a crime. Up until the zero tolerance policy, we put ankle bracelets on people, and most of them didn't show up, but we didn't separate family.